Imagine holding absolute power. Every word you speak becomes law. Every command you give moves armies of thousands. The wealth of an entire empire flows through your hands. Palaces, gold, servants, land stretching farther than the eye can see. You can have anything. You can destroy anyone. No one on earth stands above you. Now imagine that same man, the most powerful human being alive, sitting alone at night by candlelight. The palace is silent, the empire sleeps, and he takes out a private journal, not to record his victories, not to boast of his conquests, but to remind himself of one simple, terrifying truth: that he is small, that he will die, that none of it, the power, the glory, the gold, truly belongs to him. His name was Marcus Aurelius, and what he wrote in those quiet hours was never meant for you to read. It was never meant for anyone. It was a conversation with himself, a soul wrestling with its own weakness in the dead of night. And yet, nearly 2,000 years later, those private words have outlived his empire, outlived his enemies, outlived every statue ever built in his honor. They have crossed oceans and centuries. They have comforted soldiers in war and prisoners in cells. They have guided kings and beggars alike. Today, we call that journal Meditations, and by the end of this hour, it may change the way you see your entire life. So stay with me, because this is not just the story of a Roman emperor. This is the story of how the most powerful man who ever lived discovered that true power has nothing to do with thrones. Let me take you back. Rome, the 2nd century after Christ, the greatest empire the world had ever known. Its borders touched 3 continents. Its legions were undefeated. Its roads connected millions. This was the height of human civilization, a machine of stone, steel, and ambition. But Rome was also a place of shadows. Beneath the marble columns and golden temples ran rivers of blood. Emperors were poisoned by their own families. Generals plotted in the dark. Power was a knife, and everyone wanted to hold it. To rule Rome was to live with a target on your back. Most who reached the throne died by betrayal. Many went mad. Others drowned in pleasure, cruelty, and excess, believing that because they could do anything, they should. This was the world Marcus Aurelius was born into. The year was 121, and from the very beginning, he was different. He was born into a wealthy and respected family, but he did not chase pleasure the way others did. Even as a boy, there was a stillness in him, a seriousness. While the sons of nobles indulged in luxury, young Marcus was drawn to something else entirely. He was drawn to philosophy. He fell in love with the teachings of the Stoics, thinkers who believed that the good life was not found in wealth or fame, but in virtue, in wisdom, in mastering one's own mind. He read them obsessively. He lived them. He wore simple clothing. He slept on hard beds. He trained himself to want less so that nothing could control him. And people noticed, especially the emperor. Hadrian, the ruler of Rome at the time, saw something rare in this quiet, thoughtful young man. He gave him a nickname. He called him Verissimus,
the most truthful one. Even as a boy, Marcus could not lie. He could not pretend. There was an honesty in him that unsettled a world built on deception. And so a plan was set in motion. A plan that would place this reluctant philosopher on the most dangerous throne on earth. Marcus was adopted into the imperial line, groomed for power he never sought. He did not dream of ruling. He dreamed of studying, of thinking, of living a quiet life devoted to wisdom. But fate does not ask what you want. In the year 161, the old emperor died, and Marcus Aurelius became the ruler of the Roman world, the most powerful man alive, a philosopher on the throne of the greatest empire in history. Now, here is where most stories of power turn dark. Here is where the ordinary man becomes a monster. Give a person unlimited power, and you usually reveal who they truly are. History is filled with rulers who were corrupted the instant they touched the crown. But Marcus was not corrupted, and that is the miracle at the heart of this story. Because while he held the world in his hands, his reign was anything but easy. Do not imagine a life of comfort and celebration. Marcus Aurelius ruled through some of the darkest years Rome had ever seen. Devastating wars erupted on the frontiers. Barbarian armies pressed against the borders. He spent years of his life not in luxurious palaces, but in cold military camps on the edge of the empire, leading his men through brutal campaigns.
And then came the plague. A terrible sickness swept across the empire, killing untold numbers, some say millions. Bodies filled the streets. Fear filled the hearts of the people. And through it all, the emperor was expected to remain calm, to remain strong, to carry the weight of a dying world on his shoulders. He buried children of his own. He faced betrayal from men he trusted. He was surrounded by flatterers, liars, and those who wanted him dead. He carried burdens that would crush most human beings. And here is the question that should stop you in your tracks. How? How did one man endure all of that? War, plague, loss, betrayal, the crushing loneliness of absolute power, and not lose himself? How did he stay kind when he could have been cruel? How did he stay humble when the entire world bowed before him? The answer was hidden in that private journal. Every night, in the middle of chaos, Marcus turned inward. He wrote to himself. He reminded himself who he wanted to be. He argued with his own fears. He confronted his own ego. He prepared his mind for suffering, for loss, and for death. He was not writing philosophy for the world. He was using philosophy to survive. He never intended for anyone to see these words. They were his medicine, his anchor, his secret weapon against a world that seemed designed to break him. And somehow, through the accidents of history, those pages survived. They passed from hand to hand across the centuries. They were nearly lost more than once, and yet here they are. Here they remain. The private thoughts of a dying emperor now open before us, whispering across 2,000 years. So what did he write? What secrets did the most powerful man on earth confess to himself in the darkness?
He wrote about how to control your mind when the world is falling apart. He wrote about how to face death without fear. He wrote about how to deal with difficult people, with anger, with betrayal. He wrote about how to find peace when everything you love can be taken from you. He discovered truths that most people spend their entire lives running from. And in these truths lies something you desperately need, whether you know it yet or not. Because you may not rule an empire, you may not command armies or wear a crown, but you face your own battles, your own fears, your own losses, your own moments alone in the dark, wondering how to carry the weight of your life. And the man who ruled the world left you a map. So the real question is this: what did a Roman emperor understand about the human mind that we, with all our modern comfort and technology, have somehow forgotten? What was the secret that allowed him to stay unbroken when everything around him was breaking? The answer begins with a single radical idea. An idea so simple that most people overlook it, yet so powerful it can transform your entire existence. And to understand it, we have to go back to the philosophy that shaped him, the philosophy of the Stoics. Because everything Marcus Aurelius became, everything he endured, began with one question. A question that could change your life too. What in this world is truly under your control?